Among Us is getting an animated series. The new Avatar, the bald one, not the blue one, game is announced. And in the wake of Stadia, Google is bringing playable video games directly to YouTube. We've got a roundup of all the gaming news from this week that you might have missed.
And the Xbox FTC trial just finished up, but not before dropping some big news. We got a lot to talk about. Let's do it. It's time for Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're bringing you all the biggest things happening in the video game industry on Fruit Lab, YouTube, podcast services, everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red. I'm joined every week by this gentleman right here, full clip. What is going on?
Yo, what's up? Feeling good, doing good, got my coffee, ready to get out the gaming news. How about you?
Oh man, I'm excited too. I'm officially after today. I'm officially off work for like 12 days.
Oh gosh, very nice.
So yeah, I'm gonna be doing a lot of gaming, a lot of drinking. So I'm very much looking forward to it. But let's get back to you. Drinking coffee right now, dude. It's very late at night. You can't be drinking coffee this late at night. You're gonna be up. You're gonna be up until all hours.
You know, I'll probably crash at 1 or 2 and make it through one more day, and it's the weekend.
This is elderly E-Rock the Red talking now. So you're gonna stay up until like 2 o'clock, and then you're gonna go into work in the morning.
Yeah,
you're crazy. You
I
youngsters.
can barely do it anymore, but I can do it.
I'm impressed, dude. I wish, dude. I sit there and I'm playing. Like it's like 10 o'clock and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to play video games and I'm all excited. I got the controller and like, dude, I'm like this, I'm just falling asleep playing video games. Maybe I'm not playing the right games. I don't know.
Not drinking enough coffee.
Yeah, I'm drinking too much beer is what I'm drinking. That's probably part of the problem. What have you been playing? Anything good?
You know, AEW Fight Forever. Well, it just came out, but we also got the advanced copies of it. Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get into it more with the new releases, maybe even do a standalone review of that. But that's what I've been playing for the most part.
Nice. Yeah, me too, dude. That's like pretty much the only thing I've been playing. A little bit of Final Fantasy 16 here and there. And then, yeah, a bunch of the new AEW game. I did also try, like, I've been playing a bunch of demos from the Steam Next Fest. Like, all these, like, future games that are coming out had demos come out. So I got to play that. We talked about it once before. That it's called Stray Gods. It's the role playing musical. Yeah. It was like the music. So I played the first bit of that. That was enjoyable. I was glad to check out that demo. And then I played this other game. What was it called? Astria Six-Sided Oracles, and it's kind of like a deck building, like roguelike, but instead of cards, it's dice. And there's all these different sets of dice that you can use, and they all have different... It's really, really confusing. It was enjoyable, but it was like you have to know... I mean, you could hover over the different dice, but like in one game, I think I had 10 different types of dice, and they all did different things, whether they like healed or they hurt or like they split the cost or like all this stuff. And I was like, this was a really fun game if you're into that sort of stuff. But yeah, it was confusing, but I put it on my wish list anyway. So
it does sound confusing. Cards are confusing enough, but get different dice sets. That's even more. Dude,
and it doesn't like there's nothing on the dice. Like all the pictures look the same on the dice. There's like a slight difference. So like this one's got a curvy line instead of a straight line. And I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so, welcome to learning Japanese.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of demos and stuff. And then just today, the Steam like summer sale started. So I've been like going through there looking to grab some new stuff. But I don't know. It's not as, from what I'm hearing, I'm new to the whole Steam world, and everybody like on Reddit, they're just like, man, gone are the days of like the dollar games or whatever, and everything's like, so I missed the boat on that. But there's a bunch of games on my wish list that are on sale. I think I'll pick up House Flipper. It's on sale for $7. That's a good one to have, like, just on the go. If I just want to, like, clean a house or paint something.
Yeah, and you better play it, or you're not going to know how to do House Flipper 2, which is right around the corner.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll have no clue what's happening in the story.
A lot of lore. I think there actually is some lore in those games. Not even joking. Or maybe I'm thinking of a pressure washer simulator.
There is a little bit. Lore. I played House Flipper on Game Pass. I think it's still on there. I think I still could go on there and play it. It's just so much easier having it like just right through the Steam library. But yeah, you got to like build up you're like building a business. So like it's not just like doing like jobs. So yeah. That's about it. Should we get into our new releases?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk about our new releases from last week. All right, first up we had Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. This came out on June 27th on PC, PS5, Xbox X and S, and the Nintendo Switch. This is a remake of the Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life from, I don't know when. It was like a GameCube game, I think.
Yeah.
But it's like all rebuilt and tons of new additions and that sort of thing. So, same bones, but it's got a lot more going on. You farm, you dig for things, you talk to spirits. These are all things I've gathered. Yeah, you could get married. You could, court the townsfolk.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any smooching or anything like that, but
yeah, not sure.
Yeah, they might have gotten it like a higher rating after that, sexual intercourse. Wait, is that what
this is Roblox?
Yeah, this is not Roblox. What do you think? This is the kind of stuff that I know your wife is a fan of. Did you show her this?
No, I don't think so, actually. I mean, I feel like we already own this game 5 times over.
Right.
And like we talked about Hobo Life or Hoko Life.
Yeah. I want both of those games, though. Hobo Life and Hogo Life.
Yeah, a little different. But, yeah, it's like you said, the same bones. It's like you know what you're getting, and if you want more of that and a slightly newer, iterative, changed version, I'm sure this will be fine. But I don't feel the need to play every single one I come across.
Yeah, and I am hearing that the downside to this one is that it doesn't hold up to some of the more recent games in this genre. It's just there's just so much more that even like something like a Stardew Valley
hard to beat Stardew.
Yeah, so it's I'm sure fans of the Harvest Moon series, it's exciting that these are available again. But it's just I think it was reviewing like high 60s, low 70s. So not the best. I would expect better from this crew, but we'll see. And then the big one that we're excited to talk about, AEW Fight Forever, came out June 29th on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, XS, Nintendo Switch, and PC. So this is the new wrestling game from All Elite Wrestling. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I'm a big AEW fan. I'm a big Ukes wrestling fan. So this is from developer Ukes. They did all those old school arcade games. So I was really excited. But this one you got all different. You got a huge roster of wrestlers, a bunch of different match types. One-on-one tag team. There's a battle royale. There's an exploding barbed wire death match. It's got the traditional creator wrestler with the full, customizing thing. You could customize your entrance and like your lighting and that sort of thing. It's got a bunch of mini games you could play online, a career mode, and what else? Daily, weekly challenges. It's got it all, man. It's got a ton of content on there. So it's really cool. I want to know what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so I'm stacking up a lot of games that I've gotten before they release for review purposes and things like that. This is one of the few that has me like ready to get back into it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I think. I mean, I'm not a big wrestling fan. I,
Yeah.
I grew up. It was there, but like I didn't follow it.
Yeah.
But I'm still into the game, and it's because it reminds me of the old like PlayStation 1, maybe even some of the PlayStation 2 era wrestling games where it is
Right.
more arcade like.
Yep, absolutely. That is exactly my thought as well. Like, it's not the prettiest thing, and it definitely has some bugs. But man, I am having so much fun playing it. I was playing it the other night. Like, I was online with some friends, and one of my buddies was playing like Street Fighter 6, one was playing Diablo, and I was playing AEW, and like they're playing their game. We're all talking through the PlayStation, and I just keep yelling. I'm like, "Oh my god!" I was doing a battle royale, and just some of the stuff that took place in this game was so much like watching the product on television. Like it got down to like I was one of the last 3 people left in the ring, and Chris Jericho goes to do his finishing move on a wrestler named Malachi Black. And Malachi Black's thing is he spits a mist into people's faces. Now, these are the computer-controlled characters, and I'm like, I forget who I was at this time. But anyways, Jericho's setting him up. He's going to do he's got like a spinning elbow finisher, and the dude spits the mist in Jericho's face, and then I threw Jericho over the top rope, dude. It was like the most perfect, insane thing. And then like I ended up beating this other guy, and I threw him over. But it was like I couldn't believe that like this just happened in this like this arcadey game where it's like it really was well done, and just a blast to play. I was like I had so much fun doing it. So I think we should we'll do a review a little bit longer on it. I do want to get a little I haven't tried the career mode yet. Did you try that yet?
It's the one thing I haven't tried.
Okay, yeah, I want to get a little taste of that. One of the downsides I'm hearing is that the career mode is very short. So I did want to look to see what that is. But so far, I mean, I love the inclusion of the daily challenges and the weekly challenges. And then there's like this currency that's in there that, you could use to buy more things to add to the create a wrestler thing, which I think is a really cool feature. So, I'm excited to play more, man. It's definitely taken away from. I was so excited to play Final Fantasy 16, and then like I got this, and it's just been eating up a lot of my time, and it's a blast to do so. And I've only even like I really feel like I've just scratched the surface of like some of the game modes and some of the characters, and I didn't even make a person yet.
Yeah. I went all out on that, and that's always an important part of the game to me, and another one of those things that takes me back to the earlier wrestling games. I played like one of the WWE, I don't even know, 2K22 maybe a little older than that or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's like it might have looked a little more real than this game, but it was really lacking features that they had in the PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64 versions of the game.
Right. Yeah, now those are things why reasons why I like Madden. Like I stopped playing Madden and stuff because it's more about like it's like doing more of that simulation stuff where it's like, okay, it's got to be very much exactly what you're seeing like on TV and have the ability to do exactly like that. With this, it's definitely got more of that arcadey feel where it's like, okay, it's going to do that, but you're just hitting one button. You don't have to do like set everything up or whatever. Yeah, it's much more simplified. Cool. Yeah,
I mean, I don't need it to be technically like difficult to play. I just want to be able to get out of the ring, pull a weapon out, get back in the ring.
Right.
And this so far has been pretty easy about most of that stuff.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I did watch your video of you playing that exploding
electric,
barbed wire. Yeah. Man, that was pretty crazy. I was like, this person just got electrocuted. It's like they're dead. That you just killed a man. But definitely. It's got its flaws, but it is a very fun game. Keep an eye out here for a full-length review of AEW Fight Forever. All right, and that's it for our new releases from this past week. It was a light week, but there's a lot more coming later this. Well, it was the end of this month. Next month, I guess we're heading into July, so big stuff's happening. All right, let's get into our news of the week. All right, in our top story this week, we got to go back. We got to talk more about this Xbox FTC trial that actually just wrapped up as we're recording this. So it was 5 days of craziness, just tons of like stuff happening. We talked about the first few days in our last week's episode, and we got a lot to talk about here. Just tons of stuff just coming out. In this most recent day 5 here, one of the big things we found was that so this trial, what's happening is that we're seeing a ton of these, all these emails and intercompany documents and stuff that really we're not supposed to see as consumers, as the public. This is all part of what's going on with this merger and getting this to pass. So we're seeing all this stuff, and it's pretty crazy. Like what, for example, in a random meeting in 2021, Phil Spencer made the decision to make all ZeniMax Bethesda games going forward. He said they're going to be, Xbox exclusive, and not just the new IPs. He's like, all right, all the games going forward, just right there, just exclusive to Xbox. So it was interesting. So I just want to shout out IGN. They have a huge rundown of the full 5 days of the trial with all the bullet points and stuff like that. So I'm just going to read part of this article thing here. It says, "Two went on to discuss how pulling all Bethesda titles from PlayStation would cause profit issues in Microsoft and ZeniMax's deal model. We will have accountability margin issues in the deal model as we pull a huge number of PlayStation units out of model. And this means Xbox and ZeniMax projected profits after the acquisition factored in releasing some Bethesda games on PlayStation before this decision came down." And then, so this was like this was part of controversy because they pushed Phil Spencer on this last week, and he said he didn't remember this discussion. So this goes into the accountability of their plans going forward about making Activision games, all of Activision games, Xbox exclusive. They did it with Bethesda, ZeniMax, and they're saying they're not going to do it with, these the new acquisition, and it's not. According to this.
Yes, I guess Call of Duty primarily would be the big interest.
That is the big one. And, let's talk about Call of Duty then. So, Bobby Kotick took the stand at one point, and he went on, and the focus of that was Call of Duty. And he said that there's no way they would ever make that a Xbox exclusive. He said, he said, "You would alienate over 100 million monthly active players. Half of them play on phones, but the rest of them play on computer and PlayStation, and you would have a revolt if you were to remove the game from more than one platform." He said, "Gamers are very passionate, and so with that kind of investment, time, and effort, you get an enthusiastic, passionate group of people." Kotick said it would be very detrimental to our business to take Call of Duty off PlayStation. So that was, one of the big things. And that's the thing that we've been talking about for what seems like years about this, this merger is what will happen to Call of Duty. Another thing they talked about with Kotick is about whether the possibility of putting a degraded version of Call of Duty on PlayStation. And he said absolutely not. That he said the vitriol that would follow from gamers and ensuing damage to the company would be well-deserved if they did something like that.
The ultimate irony here, that's exactly what had happened to Xbox. A less feature-rich version. PlayStation has had that deal with Call of Duty for a long time, having special modes and skins and everything else.
But wasn't that always like a timed exclusivity?
Not always. There were there are still particular game modes, even in this most recent one, I think, like a particular map in a particular mode that you can only play on PlayStation.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess it's not as feature rich, but they're not putting out a purposefully broken game on a different system. One other thing that did come out of this is that we found out that Warzone Mobile will be being released this fall. We hadn't had a date for that, and that did come out. Bobby Kotick said that this fall is going to be that's going to be coming out. What else? They had the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, up there talking about how he hates exclusives, and he feels like he just wanted to get rid of console exclusives altogether. But they couldn't. Microsoft needed to stay competitive and have their own exclusives. He said, if it was up to me, I would love to get rid of the entire sort of exclusives on consoles, but that's not up to me to define, especially as a low share player in the console market, that the dominant player there has defined market competition using exclusives, and so that's the world we live in. I have no love for that world. You could tell, because they don't have any. That's not true. We saw it the most recent Xbox showcase. There's a bunch coming, bunch of good ones.
I mean, a lot of their exclusives are still on PC though.
Yeah, that's true. I guess console exclusives. I guess we'll have to say. Let's see, another one of my favorite ones that came out. This was a letter that was redacted. Unfortunately, it was very, very poorly redacted. It was like someone just took a Sharpie that was running out of marker and redacted.
Sharpie 2.0.
That Call of Duty directly generated over $800 million just for Sony in 2021. That blows my mind, dude. That's a lot of money. No wonder they are fighting tooth and nail for this.
Yeah, and at the same time, wasn't the boss at PlayStation? He's like, I don't really care about Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors. This whole thing, and then in that same redacted letter, we got to see that Horizon Forbidden West cost $212 million to make, and The Last of Us Part 2 had a budget of $220 million. This is stuff that you never see. We never can see it. There's never transparency with budgets and how much these games cost. It's pretty crazy that we get to see this. But that's a lot of money, dude.
Yeah.
That's the same as big budget, like, action movies. Crazy.
Yeah. The only thing I have to compare it to, I think we saw the numbers for Red Dead Redemption 2 or maybe GTA 6, and it was like, well, Red Dead Redemption 2, I believe that the cost was about $500 million, something like that. And then they're saying that GTA 6 will be the most expensive ever. That's
going to be like $1 billion game or whatever to make or something like that. Yeah, crazy stuff. What else? There was a claim made by Xbox during the trial that said all the other worldwide regulators agree with the merger except for the CMA in the UK and the FTC in America, and Canada was like, girlfriend, we disagree as well. So now they're throwing their hat into the ring. They haven't issued any formal statement about this, about what their thoughts are, except for this right now. So that's another big one that is another hurdle for this merger to have to jump over. So crazy stuff. What else? Oh, they talked about, there were rumors then of a PS5 Slim and the possible price for that Project Q, that handheld thing. This came out of them saying that there's no consoles under a certain dollar amount. And they said that the Xbox Series S is sold for $50 less than the Switch OLED. PlayStation likewise sells a less expensive digital edition for $399.99 and is expected to release a PlayStation 5 Slim later this year at the same reduced price point. And then they also said that the Project Q is expecting to drop as under $300, which to me it needs to be way under $300 for anybody to pick up a controller with the screen in the middle to play games at home. So
Yeah.
Jim Ryan, is that his name? Jim Ryan. It's a firsty.
Yeah.
I don't like I never trust a firsty. Jim Ryan. He talks about how he was on trial or on the stand, and he was talking about how I talked to every publisher and they all don't like Game Pass because they think it's value destructive. And then they were like, "You talk to all the publishers?" Some Microsoft lawyers said. He's like, "I talk to publishers all the time, and this is a very commonly held view over many years by the publishers that they do not like Game Pass." And we've talked about that. This is something that we've brought up when talking about Game Pass, is that it does, lessen the value of some of these games. But, it's great for indie games that need to be seen, Oh, talking about exclusives. Jim Ryan also said that he had no issue with Redfall being an exclusive, same thing as Starfield. He says, I don't like it, but I don't view it as anti-competitive. And that's what we talked about. Sony, out of all people, cannot be pissed about, a company having exclusive titles of these big, these big games, because that's their whole model. So, yeah, lots of crazy stuff came out. And, now we just got to go back to, back to regular life. All right, so now that we've heard everything from this trial, what is your major takeaway from this? Do you think that, who do you think is going to win this bad boy?
At this point, I still have no idea. There's so many moving parts and pieces. Now, did we talk about like the dates that these things need to be resolved by? Apparently, like July 18th, I know is a big deadline, and it's like if something hasn't come by that date, Microsoft and Activision have to renegotiate the deal.
Right, yes.
But also, something else is not supposed to happen until like August 12th or August 2nd, a big day in court.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Like, they have to have this resolved by this date, but, yeah, this thing's not taking place until after that. So I don't understand this sort of world. I've learned so much in the last, few months as far as mergers go and FTC approval and that sort of thing. So that's good, I guess. But I'm still sick of talking about it.
Yeah. You never know week to week. Like, these things keep flip-flopping back and forth. I guess one thing that I did see there, I don't think we talked about, Sarah Bond, that's a firsty-lasty, says Xbox Cloud is Game Pass's Ultimate's least popular feature, which kind of is like, no shit. Who's buying Xbox Ultimate just for the cloud features?
Yeah.
How many of these cloud gaming things have to go out of business or shut down before we realize that there's not a huge market there just yet?
Yeah. It's a nice bonus for when you want to, test out a game. You could play it right off, but I'm playing that in the same system that's connected, to, hardwired to the internet, and it's easy and, but, yeah, the cloud's not... It's not doing much just yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, so it was strange that this even came out as a big deal for, I don't even know which country or which board on which country, but they acted like it was their biggest stopping point, that Xbox would have an unfair advantage in that market.
Right, yeah, that was the UK, that was the CMA out of the UK that was their thing. Like, the cloud market it would be too, disruptive, and it's like, I don't know. That's a weird hill to die on right there, the cloud.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's ultimately, the more I read about this, the more I think that it's going to go through. I don't think the FTC really did much in this trial to prove anything that, there's a lot of things that could be construed that way. But as far as, it's always just been about Call of Duty and, you believe Bobby Kotick, he's said right there on the stand that this will, it's always going to be available everywhere. He even talked about how he wished he would have put it on Switch previously, and we'll definitely consider putting it on whatever the new Nintendo system is. So, I just can't believe how much money that game makes. I mean, I can believe it, but it's still, when you see it, it's pretty crazy. But I'd be interested to see how much it costs to make one of those games. I'm surprised. We needed a poorly redacted letter about how much it costs to make Call of Duty.
Yeah.
All right, shall we move on?
We better.
All right, let's just talk about the PlayStation Plus games for July. Speaking of Call of Duty Black Ops, the Cold War one, and then Alan Wake Remastered and Endling Extinction is Forever are the new PlayStation Plus games for July. I'm excited about the Alan Wake Remastered because Alan Wake 2 looks phenomenal, and I never played the first one. So I'm hoping to jump in and check that out. Endling Extinction is Forever. I did play that. That is, it's just really kind of sad. You got to take care of these baby foxes, and one of them gets stolen, and then they constantly die if they don't get fed enough. Your little baby foxes are dying. It's a big bummer of a game, but it's really cute.
Yeah, what's the play, you think, on this Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War being one of the free games?
I never know when they put these older ones out.
Yeah,
sure, it bumps up the multiplayer a little bit briefly.
For the old game or the new, you think?
The old one, because I remember when they released the original, the Modern Warfare 2 on PlayStation Plus. So a lot of people were playing that, getting in there and doing the prop hunt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this one wasn't a great game, right? If I'm remembering correctly, the Cold War.
I didn't play it nearly as much as the one before it or after it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it does. I'm sure we'll get some people playing. Did this one even have a campaign?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, well, that's good at least, so you could get in there. I know a lot of people are really interested in that part of it at least, so that's good. All right, is Google getting back into gaming? So, I don't understand what's going on over there at Google. They just stopped the Stadia thing, talk about cloud gaming, and now all of a sudden they're making playables? You getting in on these playables?
They're going to have to do something a little more impressive than what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I don't know what this is, but according to a Wall Street Journal article, YouTube is testing a service called Playables, and basically it's just games that you could play within the YouTube website and mobile app. And right now, there's just a game called Stack Bounce, and it's like a Breakout clone. Those where you got to move the blocks and you got to knock the things down with the balls. And that's the one that's available right now, but you could play it right through YouTube. So I don't know what this is, what it's intended for. People that are into gaming on YouTube are not the same people that are into Breakout, Stack Bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, they had so much from, Stadia. Stadia had some great titles. Are they going to be putting those as a playable? Do they have the ability to put those out as a playable? I mean, obviously, this is just a test. So, there's still a lot of questions to be answered. But I don't know. I don't know what this is.
It's very, very strange. Because it's why games that should be mobile games if you're going to do it? If you're going to do cloud games, and maybe this is the plan eventually, why not things that they had on the Stadia, like Red Dead Redemption 2? That's, you've got a computer in your pocket. I guess to their advantage, you've got the YouTube app already installed. 99% of people, anyway, with a smartphone. So you're a couple clicks away from playing a game or potentially buying a game through their service. And I'm sure if you're on iPhone, Apple's going to still snag a portion of that too. And that's just how that works. But maybe in the same way that they're selling movies and TV seasons through YouTube, they're more than happy to sell you a game that sort of works on a cloud-like basis through the app as well.
Yeah, I remember when Stadia was a thing, one of the features was that they talked about having at some point was the ability to say you're playing a game and you get stuck. You could go right into YouTube, find that game, a walkthrough, and in the same window, bring your game back up and play it right through YouTube right there on the thing. So it was the future is happening, but this doesn't seem like that same future. So I don't know, but playables, it's fun to say.
Yeah, it's catchy.
Yeah. It's like, I like anything that's like a Bulls. Remember those?
Lunchables?
Yeah, Lunchables. And then they also had those peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, what were like the Uncrustables.
Uncrustables.
Yeah. So yeah, all those Bulls. Those are the only ones I know. If you think of any more Bulls out there, you let us know. All right, let's talk about the Annapurna Interactive Showcase that just took place. Just when we thought we were done with game showcases, we got Annapurna just coming in, bringing their weird games. Some good ones, though. Blade Runner is getting a game, so that's cool. First Blade Runner game in 25 years. That also happens to be the first in-house game for Annapurna Interactive. So, you like Blade Runner?
I've never watched either of the two movies.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new one.
Yeah,
first one's
that's a crime.
Yeah, I think you would dig them. Cocoon is the game from the people that made Limbo and Inside. That got a release date September 29th. It's going to be out on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, Switch, and it's going to be on everything. It's going to be on everything, and it's going to be on Game Pass. So that's pretty cool. It looks interesting. Those games are dope. The ones that they make. So
they are. This one looks better than that last one we talked about, where it was almost like a strange. It was breaking from the 2D and it went to like 2.5D. Something about aliens. And a lot of green.
Yes.
Don't remember the name of it, though.
I remember.
But it didn't review very good.
No,
this was looking good.
I played that one. I don't remember what it was called, but it was boring. Stray is coming to Xbox in August. A game called Thirsty Suitors got a release date November 2nd on PS4, PS5, Xbox XS, One, PC, and Switch. Another one coming out on everything, including Game Pass. This one looked interesting. It's got like everything in it. It's got skateboarding and cooking, and you got to date people. It's a whole thing. There's a photography game called Lush Foil Photography Sim. You're out there looking at real world locations, and you got to take fake pictures. So, this could be for me. I don't travel anywhere, so I could just pretend to travel from the comfort of my house.
Do you know anybody who is like obsessed with taking screenshots in video games?
No, I don't. But I always will see like on Reddit or something, people that put hours into like making this perfect screenshot, and I'm like, cool. And then I just scroll right past it. I don't get it.
I know one of those people, and they would love this game.
Really? Well, there you go. I have to let them know. To a T, this is one I'm excited for. It's from the creator of Katamari Damacy. It's just about a person who can't put his arms down. So
yeah, T-pose simulator.
Yeah, I'm absolutely in for that one. Flock is a co-op game where you could fly around with your friends and collect little creatures that then fly behind you. That one looks cute. Ghost Bike, about a biking through the afterlife. Right? You would figure that from a game called Ghost Bike. And then this one, anytime I see a mech, I immediately think of you. This one looks really awesome, though. Bounty Star. Did you watch the trailer for this one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was gonna text you. I'm like, you don't have to watch any of the other ones, but watch this one. Just because this one, we recently talked about a mech game, and it was about resource and crafting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there was no point for the mechs. This one is like an action game that you fight things in your mech, and then the person that drives the mech has like a base that they need to build, and you have to collect resources to make better weapons and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of like it's like a Monster Hunter type situation where you got to go and collect more resources to make your stuff better, but like with a mech instead of a person with a sword.
Yeah, I'm into this one. I mean, it gives me a lot of strong vibes of Dark Cloud 2 from back in the day, where you almost have the same situation. You go and collect resources, craft new weapons, and put it onto your mech and go fight more.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that, but yeah, that sounds great. It looks really cool. I'm excited for that. I don't think there was any information about release date or anything. But yeah, that was the Annapurna Interactive Showcase. A lot of weird stuff, but I think like half of it was coming to Game Pass. So if you got Game Pass, you can check it out without dropping any cash. A couple more games that were announced this week. Avatar: The Last Airbender Quest for Balance was announced. This is you can play solo or 2-player, local or online co-op. It's your choice of 9 different Avatar: The Last Airbender characters. So, are you an Avatar fan?
I tried watching Avatar, and 40 episodes in, I realized I was watching Naruto. So I've not seen it yet.
All right. I thought you were going to say, like, you just realized you were watching the movie Avatar with the blue
On
people.
repeat.
Yeah.
Really long episodes.
Yeah, I've always heard such great things about The Last Airbender. And let me tell you, that M. Night Shyamalan movie, perfection. Doesn't get any better than that as far as Airbender goes, in my opinion. Kidding. Don't send death threats. But no, yeah, I tried watching the show, the cartoon with my son, and he just wasn't. I think he was still a little too young for it. But I like the premise of it, and it's pretty cool. I don't know if I'll be getting the game, but it's out there. It's coming out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series S and X. Another one that's coming out everywhere. But yeah, you can play. It's got side quests, character upgrades, interactions with iconic characters from the franchise, and then 9 playable characters include Aang, Toph, Sokka, and Katara. All names of things. And then I'll tell you one that I am excited for: Wild Card Football. This is from Saber Interactive, the guys that did NBA Playgrounds, like a arcade-style basketball game. This is a 7-on-7 football game, kind of like NFL Blitz was back in the day, where there's like just power-ups. There's in the video, like Colin Kaepernick just becomes like a giant, and then he's like stomping on people. And it doesn't have any of the teams from the NFL, but it has players from the NFL. So it's like, to say it's focusing on the players more than the teams. But it looks like a lot of fun. There's no microtransactions, which is good because the NBA Playgrounds game had a lot of microtransactions. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for this one. Comes out October 10th. And that's real American football, not, British football. So hard-hitting, giant men stomping on people. All right, and then the last thing we got to talk about, Among Us is becoming a TV show, a live-action show. No, I'm kidding. That would be cool, though.
Yeah.
This is going to be an animated series from CBS Studios, and from the creator of Infinity Train, Owen Dennis. I don't know what Infinity Train is, but, it seems people like it. This is, it's the same premise of the game. Members of your crew have been replaced by an alien shapeshifter intent on causing confusion, sabotaging the ship, and killing everyone. Root out the imposter or fall victim to its murderous designs. It's going to be the same thing, except in TV show version. I don't know how it's going to be.
Yeah, and I'm kind of wondering if this is like kid-friendly. Is it teen-oriented? Maybe Adult Swim?
Yeah.
Because I think the game, it must be T for teen with like cartoon violence or something.
Yeah, I definitely know at some point there's just like a bone for someone's head or something. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I never really got into the game. My wife did. She was, she always played on her phone, and I just hear her over there like yelling. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm playing Among Us. Shut up. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just another video game adaptation coming. They're all over the place, and not always the ones you expect either. Like I wouldn't have expected an Among Us one, but it's cool. It's cool that it's happening, and we'll see what it's all about. That's all I got. You got anything else you want to talk about? Look, we're only. Else. I mean, we're not even at an hour yet. I do feel like I've been talking forever. We're doing good. Yeah, exactly.
Slim down show at 47 minutes.
I know. It's this damn trial, man. It's like next week we're going to have nothing to talk about. So, yeah. It's a lot of fun, though. I like having this to talk about and examine. So, all right. Well, thanks for checking out this episode of Gaming News Weekly. You can find the video version of this show on Fruit Lab. You can go watch video game clips, earn pips. It's a cryptocurrency. You can use it to buy things with. Very cool. If you don't want to do that, check us out on YouTube at Pop Culture Playground. Full Clip, he's also on YouTube. GameFAQs, GameFAX. It's also over on Twitch, Full Clip _FL. You can watch him putting models together or building cars or playing AEW Fight Forever. What else? Oh, you can listen to the podcast version of the show. You don't want to watch the show? You don't want to see us? You can listen to us. Anywhere podcasts are found, just type in GNW. You'll get the show that way. And then check out our TikTok. It's where we're posting all the best bits. It's just going to be AEW Fight Forever for the next months. It's just going to be us doing cool stuff, doing top rope dives and smashing people with chairs. I think that's fair, right?
It's fair.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.